A real pleasure to welcome you today to this welcome ceremony for the first year PhD students. Those that have started maybe very recently or that are in your first year. And I am very happy to welcome you to Universitat Politècnica de Catalunya and more specifically to the doctoral school here. Today marks the beginning of a journey that will challenge you, transform you, and prepare you for a very bright future, I'm sure. My name is Cristina Canal Pernils. I am the director of the doctoral school. And today's program has been designed to give you an overview of many of the things that can be useful for your thesis. So we have a first part this morning that is welcome and training. So after my welcome and explaining some things about who we are at the doctoral school, what we do, and how can we help you, we will have presentation of different units from UPC that provide services that and cross-disciplinary training that can be useful for you throughout these 4 years that are ahead of you. So we will have here the Institut de Ciències per l'Educació from UPC, the Culture and Community Area, the Language and Terminology Service, the International Relations Office. Some of them maybe you already know, some others maybe not. The libraries, publications, the Innovation Management Service, and also the Doctoral Student Council, because there is a Doctoral Student Council, so it's good that you know who you can address in different situations. So we think this is useful. Then we will have a presentation on the doctoral thesis to try to convey to you what expects you in the next years. Then we will have a networking quiz. We want you to also not only to learn, but to meet other peers, so today it's a good opportunity. So there will be a quiz with a prize for the winner group. And we will have a small break, and then in the second part, we will have the more formal welcome ceremony where we will count with the rector of UPC here, and we have a very distinguished professor, Maria Pau Ginebra, who has received awards for doctoral student supervision, so she can give you, I think, a very inspiring talk. And then you are starting today, and you will see the best of the best from previous years. In fact, today we will be having the award ceremony of the extraordinary doctoral awards. So many students that 4 years ago were here, just like you, now are receiving a prize for excellence for their PhD thesis. And then we will have the closing speech by the rector and snacks and drinks so we can mingle a bit. So, as said, this session today is designed for you. So again, I would like to warmly welcome you to UPC and the doctoral school. And you have chosen, you are at the center of our universe in the doctoral school. And you are in, I would say, one of the best universities to do your PhD. UPC is leader in scientific production, is leader in getting European research funds. So you are in the right place to do research. And we are also the leaders in technology transfer. So what our research, let's say our basic and applied research that we do in the lab, we want it to be useful for society, for industry, and we have a lead on that. We know very well how to do this, and so you are I would say, in a very good ecosystem to grow for your future. So at the doctoral school, we have 5 knowledge fields and 46 doctoral programs. Each of you is registered in one of these 46 doctoral students. This year, we have around 2,200 enrolled students, And every year, we have over 360 PhD theses defended. So new doctors graduate each year. This is our building here at Campus North. So this is the building where you can find us, let's say the central office of the doctoral school. So we are available whenever you need it. But you have also other points of reference. So as I was saying, your doctoral school, your doctoral program is within one of these 5 research areas: architecture, urbanism and construction, civil and environmental engineering, industrial engineering, information and communications technology engineering, and sciences. And each doctoral program has a person of reference, which is, well, in each doctoral program, there is an academic management team, so there is a coordinator, which I am sure you contacted at some point to request admission to the doctoral program, and you received a letter from him or her. We are here, the administrative support team from the doctoral school, and then at each of your campus, there is one person of reference for your doctoral program that you can contact whenever you have doubts or issues. So you know, if you are, I don't know, in the industrial engineering building in ETSEIP, there is a couple of persons of reference for the doctorate that you can go, so you don't have to come to Campus North to the central offices, right? So this person you can ask anytime that you have administrative doubts or during the development of your thesis. As I was saying, this is you. You are at the center of our focus. And during your thesis, as I was saying, you can refer to the management unit in your campus. You also have the academic supervisory team of your doctoral program, so the coordinator, and there is a team that follow all PhD students during the years. So there is the program coordinator as main academic reference that you will have during the PhD. And then, of course, you have your supervisor or supervisors that will guide you throughout the thesis. And there is also a doctoral council, so a student association for PhD students that will be introduced later, so you will know the representative and you can contact them if needed. Okay, those of you that have been here for some months, you probably already know FEDRA. FEDRA is an app, a platform that has been designed to give you support throughout the whole journey of your thesis. For all the academic, for all the management administrative issues, right? So if you enter FEDRA, if you haven't done yet, you can enter FEDRA. You will see it's a doctoral management system, and you can do many things here. So from the day you start, you will sign an agreement between your supervisors and yourself on some ethical rules for doing the PhD, etc. Every year, your annual evaluation will be done through this platform. You will be able to upload the things you do through this platform. And when you finish and you have to defend your thesis, you will also post your thesis and send the documents through this interface, right? So I will just briefly show you the main screens of this management system. So when you enter FEDRA with your UPC credentials, which is your name, surname, and your usual password, you will see that there is different, let's say, folders: the general, training and research plans, annual evaluation, doctoral thesis, and the documentation repository, where all the documents that you will be posting, you can retrieve them there at any point. So when you enter the main one, here in doctorate profile, I suggest that you get in here. You will find details of your supervisors, your doctoral program, and I encourage you to, you can upload a picture of yourself there. You can write in which office are you located, so if we need to contact you, we know where you are, because we have a lot of campuses, so it's sometimes hard to know where you are. So I encourage you to enter in doctorate profile and fill this, right? Here is the doctoral commitment that I was mentioning that you sign at the beginning of the PhD. It's an agreement between the PhD and the supervisor. Here you can specify, well, you will agree with your supervisor, for example, to an approximate meeting frequency, how often you will meet, and other things. If you are doing your PhD within an industrial doctorate program, this is indicated here. If you are doing a PhD in co-tutel with another university, it's also the documents, you will find them here. And then every year, well, not every year, the first year of your PhD, so if you just started right now, maximum in 1 year, you need to upload your research and training plan. So you have a first year evaluation, which is the evaluation of your research plan. And the research plan is in the end a document where you need to show that you know the literature of your field, that you have been reading, you know what has been done, and you present a plan of what you will do in the 4 years ahead of your thesis. And you have to show that what you are doing is novel and has not been done before. This is why there is a lot of literature in the research plan. It's very important. You write your objectives for your thesis, and you make a calendar, among other things, right? Your supervisor will guide you. There is a template for the research plan on our website. So if you go to the section of research and training plan at the doctoral school, you can download the template and see how it is. And it's very important that you know that the research plan is a live document. So you will present it after 1 year, defend it, but it's not written in stone. It's a plan, it has to be well designed, but you will see that sometimes we make plans in the thesis and then experiments don't work and we need to refocus. So it's just to have a plan to get to a goal, but we also, we need to be flexible based on that, right? So in addition to the research plan needs to include a data management plan. This is something that is important that you include. There is, in the template that we have at doctorat.upc.edu, in the template there is a link to a website that helps you complete the data management plan. And the data management plan in the end is saying, okay, which kind of data I am generating in my thesis, how I will store them. I am generating that data that are sensitive, for example, data from, I don't know, patients, or data from people that we need to keep confidential. So in this document, you describe how you will make that confidential, or how you will store your files, your information. So this is something that is mandatory, and there is also something else that you need to deliver, which is the training plan. The training plan, is like the research plan. The training plan is like a plan of which courses you intend to attend to during these years to improve your training. It can be transversal training, it can be conferences. In the training plan, you can also write if you plan to do a stay abroad in another laboratory. So this is the things that you detail here. It's also a plan. It can be flexible, right? But to help you about that, I will show you later. At the doctoral school, we have transversal training courses that can be also useful for you to, not only to do them, but also to fill in the research plan. Okay, every year, as PhD students, you get an annual, you are evaluated annually. So every year when the time comes around May, you will receive an email from FEDRA that will tell you you have to update your DAT. The DAT is the document of activities of the doctoral candidate, okay? So you come to this folder. FEDRA is quite easy. So every time that you need to do something, you will receive an email with a link that brings you to the page where you have to complete the things. So just be careful to be sure that you read the messages from FEDRA and from the doctoral school, which can be telling you important things, right? So at that moment, every year you will need to update your doctoral activities. So if you have been to a conference, you put it in DRAC. It's an app, and then it will appear here. If you have done a course on statistics or a course on paper writing, you put it there. And all the activities that you are doing, you upload them here, and they will appear. I mean, then you can you click this button, and this generates a document that the people that will be evaluating you, which is your supervisor and the coordinator of the doctoral program, they are able to read it and say, okay, things are going okay, right? And then, so you generate the data, and then you click on Start Evaluation, and this document is sent to your supervisor, who does a first report, and then this continues to the coordinator of the doctoral program, who also does an assessment, right? And then in 3 or 4 years, with very successful research, you will write a manuscript, and then you will go to this folder of doctoral thesis here and upload your doctoral thesis and start the defense process and everything. Okay, so we were discussing about the activities that you need to do, and what else do we do at the doctoral school that can be helpful for you? Okay, or that you also know what we do. So we are in charge of the academic offer, so of the different doctoral programs that are available at UPC. We work a lot on internationalization, so around more than 50% of you are from foreign countries. And besides that, it's important that during your PhD, you establish your network, a network of contacts that will be your future, a network for your future, right? So in this sense, we work a lot on internationalization. We have Unite, which is a network of technical universities, an European network of 9 European universities, where we have several opportunities for exchanges. So you can, go abroad for some months to complete your knowledge or a part of your research. We also work on trainings for entrepreneurship, trainings for socialization. Of course, we work on promoting the studies. You are here maybe because you knew a professor from your previous master or bachelor degree, or maybe you saw us in some fair or advertisement. So what else? We work a lot on quality to be sure that you are in a doctoral program of excellence. And I must say that we have been the pioneer, one of the pioneer universities in getting the stamp, the institutional accreditation for the doctoral school. This is a stamp of quality. And regarding the transversal training, as I was mentioning, we have quite an offer for you. We have a lot of courses. Don't be scared. It is not mandatory that you do all these courses. These are courses that are available for you to choose if you are interested and if you think that they can be useful for your research. The only thing that is mandatory by law is that you do at least one open science course during these 4 years of your thesis, right? So here we have the offer. So we have classified the different courses that we have in different lines. And you can see that we have a calendar. This is available also on our website, doctorat.upc.edu. And this is an approximate calendar, so you can, if you want to plan, oh, I would like to do a statistics course, but I will be only available in the last part of the year, before the summer, so you know that there are some there, right? So as you can see, we have courses that are of training in specific methods for research. Here, most of the courses are in statistics. Most of you will need statistics to process data during the thesis. Some of them are very in-depth of these, so you can just check which one can be useful for you. We have also courses on training in transferable skills, like communication. We have one course that is the art and science of storytelling, for example. Something very important, you will be doing high-quality research. You will be producing a lot of data in some topic that is probably very complex to explain, right? When you want to explain what you are doing in your thesis to your grandparents, how does it go? Is that easy? No, right? But it is very important that we are able to communicate science. We are doing good research that is for the benefit of society and for the improvement of society, so it's important that we not only do it, we are able to explain it. So we have courses to work on that. You will have to do a lot of presentations in conferences also, you have training here. We have also a part that is on personal skills and well-being. The thesis, we will mention it later in the day, is an exciting journey. It's very interesting, you are doing very important things, but you can also have very stressful moments during these 4 years. And it's important that you are able to manage this, to be successful and be in a good state of mind, I would say. So we have a couple of courses about well-being in the PhD, emotional well-being capsules, but we also have, we also organize different activities from the doctoral school that I suggest you to join. It's very important that you try to socialize. You will be working a lot. There will be periods of very, very intense work, and this is important, but it's important that you also have friends and colleagues that you can go for coffee, that you can share your experiences, because at one point you might feel that you are very lonely, things are very hard, and if you discuss with other PhD students, you will see that they probably also go through the same struggles and challenges. So when we organize things, I really suggest you to join. We organize also contests every year. We have contests for a Twitter contest to explain your thesis topic in a thread, and every year there is a contest here, and the winner. We also have a contest of a micro text to explain your thesis in an understandable way. So you will receive every month a newsletter from us with activities or contests or useful information. So just check this. And so as I was mentioning, just to finish with the transversal training, we have open science courses. It's important, you need to take at least one of these open science courses. This is mandatory. We also have courses on research management, so maybe when you get to the end of the thesis, if you want to continue in academia, you would like to learn how to write successful fellowship proposals, for example, or grant proposals. So we have this. And then we have, let's say, a package on innovation and creativity, patenting, valorization of research and entrepreneurship. Many of you are doing very applied research that can be transferred to the industry or to the society. How do you have to patent? How do you have to protect if you get an excellent invention? So you can learn this through here. Or maybe you will be interested. Some of our PhD students are founders of startups and spin-offs after. So if you are interested in this, we also can give support. Okay, this is the same. And we will now move on to the second part of this of this talk, which will be the training session for you. You will have all these units at UPC that can provide support to you. And the first speaker will be Antoni Pérez Poch, who is the head of the Institut de Ciències de l'Educació, that will give you.
Okay, can you hear me? Great. So thank you, Dr. Canal, for this introduction. And as she said, I will pass now to the part on some units in our university. We'll briefly explain to you what services can we provide to you to help you in your path to the thesis and in general to your academic starting career. So first of all, I'm from the ICE. ICE does not stand for mice. We don't provide you with size to put in the refrigerator, and it doesn't stand neither for immigrations and custom enforcement, so don't worry about this. We are a unit which is dedicated to teaching, to help people initiate their teaching and provide mentoring, provide courses, and so on. So it's the Institute of Education Sciences. And we also have a program on engineering education, which is unique here in Spain, and maybe some of you have enrolled in this particular program. But now what I'm going to talk is about a specific program which we call Mentor First, and later on there will be also other units like the library unit or the doctoral school itself that will speak to you about all these courses that Dr. Canal has briefed you before in the previous presentation. I'm going to talk to you about the Mentor First program, which is, as I said, intended to introduce you to the teaching. Some of you maybe have grants, and these grants may involve that you are introduced to practice of teaching. And although this is not directly related to your PhD work, you may find also that it is particularly rewarding to go to the class and teach you about your knowledge and begin starting also about this part of your academic career, which is transferring your knowledge to bachelor or master students. So this is what we do in the Institut de Ciències de l'Educació of this university. We provide professional development to teachers at university, and in particular to you as you are starting your career. We do also research and innovation, particularly with the doctoral program, and we also work with other levels of teaching, with the secondary level, and we also work about education technologies like the virtual campus and so on. Now, what is intended for you is this Mentor First program, which is aimed to doctoral students like you, and what we provide is an introduction. It is a 10 hours presential program with a mentor and then some activities which are intended to activate your teaching skills, okay? And in this program, if you enroll in it, you will receive a certification that you can also add to your activities that Dr. Canal explained to you, that you can add to FEDRA. And with this, you will have a mentor, which can be your thesis mentor, but can also be another teacher, or maybe in your department, there is someone that can help you to start your classes about a specific subject that you are involved in. There is a basic teaching for particularly the classes that are provided in this school, which we call STEAM higher education. STEAM standing, as you know, for science, technology, engineering, arts or architecture, depending on who you talk to you in this university, and mathematics. Well, this module is very active, so you will get also with the certification of this module the same certification that the lecturers later on have to do mandatory when they are contracted. So if you follow this course and later you decide to continue here in this university, you successfully present your PhD and you continue and you a lecturer place, you will also have this teaching requirement already connected. And also, you will have to do what we call an academic portfolio, which is a dossier that you will be monitored and helped to do it. And this is something that you can also have with evidences of your teaching and your research activities that you can also take to any following courses or concurses that you try to gain. So when you apply for an academic position, you may have this dossier and this training in your hands, okay? Well, these are the benefits that you may get from here, and now I will show you also the links. You will have all the slides in this program later in the website of the PhD school. So all this information you will have later with the calendar. So if you are interested, you can apply it in this link. And here you have some links with what we provide. We also provide some teaching courses that you can also register in. And we have also a newsletter which you can subscribe to. That's all from my part. And I want to finish by welcoming you also to this doctoral school, and I wish you a lot of success in your PhD program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Pérez-Poch. Now we will move on to the next presentation. Oops. La d'esport la volies també, oi? Sí, sí. My micro? Now it's working. So let me welcome Clara Fanoll, who is the Director of the Social and Community Policies from UPC.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to join you today at the welcome ceremony for our new doctoral candidates at UPC. My name is Carme Fenoy, and I have the honor of speaking on behalf of two case services that will support you during your doctoral journey, the Service of Inclusion and the Culture and Community Initiative, UPCRs. So, okay, as Dr. Canal said, pursuing a doctorate is not just about conducting excellence research, it's also about being part of a vibrant, diverse, and inclusive academic community. At UPC, we believe that research thrives when all members, students, researchers, staff, faculty, feel supported, valued, and invited to contribute in different ways. In today's talk, I will show you how the Service of Inclusion can help you along the doctoral path, and how UPCRs offers cultural opportunities that enrich life on our campus and beyond. I encourage you to take advantage of both services as you navigate the next months and years. Let's begin with the Service of Inclusion. At UPC, this service is dedicated to making all teaching activities, spaces, and services inclusive. Here are some of the key ways it supports you: welcoming and accompaniment. If you come to UPC with specific educational support needs or accessibility requirements, or if you simply want to talk about your adaptation to the doctoral environment. This service offers interviews, personalized guidance, and tutor support. Academic and personal well-being. We offer psychological counseling and emotional well-being programs. For example, meetups, emotional well-being meetups for autism, TEA, etc. These services help doctoral researchers who may encounter stress, isolation, or challenges in adapting to the academic life. Accessibility and adaptations. If you have a disability or a special educational needs, please contact us. The service works to implement curricular adaptations or accessibility measures so you can fully participate. Inclusive community. The strategic plan UPC Inclusiva emphasizes welcoming all people before, during, and after their studies at UPC. So we suggest you to familiarize yourself early with the Inclusion Services webpage. Note the contact person for your center, and if you feel unsure about how things work, reach out. It's much easier to use the service proactively rather than waiting for an issue to become more complicated. So let's have a look to UPCRs. This initiative brings together culture, art, and technology to enrich the life of the campus community. We program cultural activities. Each month, UPCRs offers you theater, concerts, cinema, reading, writing clubs, exhibitions, and more. These activities are for free, are open to the university community, and provide you opportunities to engage with peers beyond your research discipline. UPCRs emphasizes the intersection of culture and campus life, including collaborations to bring together technological innovation and artistic creation. Doing a doctorate is intense, as you know. UPCRs offers you ways to pause, refresh, interact, reflect, and connect with all other facets of university life. It contributes you to your sense of belonging and your well-being. So why all this matters? As doctoral researchers, you are building expert knowledge and you are becoming part of the academic community. Engaging in culture and community activities fosters networks, enhances creativity, supports your mental well-being, very important, and brings you into contact with people across disciplines and backgrounds. In short, it rounds out your doctoral experience. I suggest you to keep track of the UPCR's agenda, subscribe to their activities, and consider integration one of two cultural activities into your calendar each semester. It's not extra work, it's part of a holistic academical life. So, what I invite you to do, early in your doctorate, visit the Service of Inclusion website, note the key contacts, and consider booking an orientation interview or a psychologist interview. 2, scan the UPCR's agenda or follow Instagram profile for the upcoming month. Pick one activity that you will attend, mark the date, go with a peer or join a club. 3rd, think of yourself not only as a researcher in your niche, but as a member of this community. Engage with your peers, participate, share, attend events, and make the most of the resources here. So thank you for your attention. Congratulations again for your admission to the doctoral program. Welcome to UPC. We are very glad you are here. let's make this next phase together, inclusive, cultural, community-oriented, and excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fanol. I think my micro is not working. Em pots posar el micro que funcioni? My micro is on. Em pots posar el micro? Sí? Ara? Okay, it's not working. I will speak from here, it's okay? So I was just thanking Dr. Carme Fanol for her speech, and I am now welcoming Jordi Pujol to introduce the language services at UPC.
Bon dia, buenos dias, good morning. My name is Jordi and I work at the Language Terminology Service. We provide courses and resources for learning languages and certifying language skills. We also provide courses and workshops on language and culture, and we provide support for academic writing, oral presentations, and teaching in English. The aim of my presentation is to make you familiar with the use of languages here at the UPC, and I will also say a few words about our culture and will introduce you to some of the services and courses we provide. Catalan is the language of Catalonia and the language at the university, and it is used regularly in everyday life. Spanish and English are also used in teaching, work, and communication. How much are Catalan, Spanish, and English used on bachelor degrees? Well, on bachelor's degrees, about 70% of classes are taught in Catalan, 20% in Spanish, and 10% in English, although these figures may vary between UPC and degrees schools. Professors can choose to communicate in either of the two official languages, Catalan or Spanish, just as students can. And some professors may use English in class as well. What about doctoral degrees? On doctoral degrees, the use of languages is not governed by specific regulations, given that there is no associated teaching and interactions are generally of a personal nature. This video summarizes pretty much everything you need to know about the use of languages at our university.
Languages at the UPC. At the UPC, classes are taught in Catalan, Spanish, and English. Catalan is the main language on bachelor's degrees. You have the right to know the language of instruction of each subject. Find out the language of instruction before you enroll. You have the right to be taught in the stated language. It's everybody's responsibility to respect the language of instruction. You have the right to use Catalan and Spanish orally and in writing. Whether the class is in Catalan or Spanish, you have the right to use either of the two official languages. And English, if you come to an agreement with the professor. And to make it easy, we offer you a cultural and language reception program. It includes mentoring, leisure activities, and Catalan courses. Welcome to the UPC.
Okay, is Catalan difficult to understand? Catalan comes from Latin. Okay, sorry. As I was saying, Catalan comes from Latin, just like Spanish, French, or Italian. And if you already speak a Romance language, that will help you a lot to understand it. Experts say they share 80% of the same vocabulary. Can I take a Catalan or Spanish course? Yes, all international students who come to Catalan universities have the right to take a Catalan course at a very low fee. Spanish, English, and other language courses are also available. And Just Arrive is the course we encourage you to take, and we have a special edition of this course starting next week just for doctoral students. And through this course you will be able to learn basic expressions, just like saying hello, introducing to yourself, simple stuff. And the course is subsidized and free, so you don't have to pay for it. And do we organize writing skills courses for doctoral students? Yes, again, we offer courses on presenting in English and writing research articles in English. We also organize online sessions in Spanish or tools for writing your thesis. How can I get more information and register? Through our site. You can see it on the screen. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Jordi. So we will now move on to the next speaker, which is Ms. Berenice Martín from the International Relations Office. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Cristina, for offering us the opportunity to participate in this amazing event one more year. I am extremely happy to see you all here and to participate in this official welcome. Some of you are here since some few weeks ago or even days. Some of you are here since many more weeks. And maybe it's a lot of information. I apologize in advance because I will also rush and give you a lot of information, but you will find also some QR codes with information. And yes, I will try to cover all these points. Okay, what is our International Students Office or our International Relations Bureau? That's the Central International Relations Office that gives information to all international students, that tries to solve your problems, your situations, and address you for your different issues. And also, very important, try to check and assess you for your documents and your legal procedures for your stay in Spain in case you have a non-EU nationality, especially, very especially, if you have a non-EU nationality. But not only for you, but for your relatives too, if you come with your relatives. So the core of the message is this slide, I would say, is during all your stay, not only today or next month or during this year, but throughout your PhD stay that will last some years, we are at your disposal in any moment for anything that may arise. Of course, we are dealing with standard information, but sometimes situations arise and we don't know who we should address and so on, so we are here for you. If you have questions, especially about your legal procedures, we are here for you for free as many times as you need it. And for you, and also if you came with your relatives, we can indicate you which procedures they have to do at your arrival and after. We have a web page with general information, and we have different corners with different information. General information about accommodation. I know it's not easy. The city of Barcelona and surroundings are not easy to navigate. Everything is very expensive, and so on. We provide information of 3 portals where to look for information about accommodation. Insurance. We provide and we recommend information about one insurance that we recommend. But in general, for all of you, it doesn't matter which insurance you have, please remember to have with you always the contact details of this insurance. Store with you in your mobile phone the contact telephone number, just in case, even for a minor thing. Check what is covered. This is very typical. I book an insurance, I buy it, I store it in my documents, but I don't check what is covered or not, or how should I proceed. So sometimes there are some slight surprises. As I was saying, the most important is to carry with you always the reference of your insurance. In case that you have any issue, even minor, you would be requested at the corresponding health services, even public hospitals, to provide this insurance, because if not, they will try to charge you, okay? And check, just in case, where is the nearest hospital, because sometimes, in 0.0001% of times, reaction time matters. I don't wait that my colleague gets blue, my flatmate, to search in Google to where is the nearest hospital. I already know it. Yes, it's not nice to be far away from home, even with a little cold or something. So, as I was saying, core of our activities is about legal procedures. I won't get further here. You have the QR code. You can just simply contact us. And especially for all those of you that have a non-EU nationality, for which you have not only to obtain your student card to stay in Spain now, but also to renew it year by year. And it's quite a delicate and long procedure. Yes, a lot of paperwork to collect and to understand which are the requirements and so on. So we have a whole section of our webpage with all the digested information in Spanish or English, in understandable words, not in bureaucratic words, and even with some nice videos. And an important recommendation from now, just obtain your digital certificates to operate in the different platforms throughout, not only in UPC, but in different national platforms, because nowadays, the more and more, we are obliged to do legal procedures and administrative procedures online. As I was saying, we are here for you and for your relatives. We also give information about different calls from grants, and in our international office, we manage 2 interesting grants that could be of interest for you. We will publish the call in this next month. The Erasmus Plus doctorate grants that allow you to make a short or long mobility abroad. And twisted with it, the UPC International mention of doctorate grant that adds some amount to all those students making a stay of 3 months or more, which is the minimum stay for PhD international mention. If those of you that are going to be at the same time staff members of UPC because you are hired, some of you could also apply to Erasmus Plus training mobilities, for example. And as a non-EU student, another warning, please pay attention, because if you have a valid permit at the moment, it's okay. You can move through the Schengen European Union area. But if you are in a moment in which you should renew your stay, your legal permit to stay in Spain, then it's more tricky. You cannot move freely. You have to do additional procedures. We can inform you in our office. In addition, if you want to work in UPC, or if you have an opportunity of being hired by your department or research group, our colleagues from the international office will assess you and your professors and the Human Resources Service of UPC to make the legal procedures corresponding to this, because you have a special situation. And finally, about taxing when we are hired, and so you may want to make questions about the different deductions in your salary. There are questions that you should address to the Human Resources Service of UPC. And there is a yearly tax declaration in Spain that we have to do in case that we are workers. That is called renta. There are some general conditions that you have to comply with. And in spring, there is a big campaign to make this. Just some things to know. If you are going to be hired, there is a tax residence certificate that should obtain, because if not, in the first month of your salary, you would get an important deduction because you are non-resident in Spain. So these are many of the boring issues that we address and orient you and inform you, and many more. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Berenice. And now we move on to the next presentation. So let me change this. That will be given by Dr. Ana Rubira from the UPC Library Service. So welcome.
Thank you very much, Cristina. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to UPC, and also welcome to UPC Libraries. And I'm going to explain to you, or to give you some tips or tricks to take advantage of UPC Libraries. The first thing to mention is that you have 12 libraries at UPC. They are all for you. You can use whatever the library you want. The libraries have the opening hours are very open. We open not only on the working days, but also during period exams at weekend. So you can use them a lot of days. There is also the student app that UPC offers to all the university community, and in this app you can also use the library, the contents of all the services that we offer for you. When you go to our website, which the name of the website is Bibliotecnica, you can select a part of it which is specifically addressed to you as a PhD student, and you will there will be all the services specifically offered for you as a doctoral student regarding all your needs, like the tools to do your research, also resources for published articles, to do your data management plan, and so on, and also all the help you can receive for us. An important thing is that we put names to different services. So, as I have mentioned, Bibliotecnica is the name of our website, and there are more. Like, for example, the catalog, the traditional catalog, its name is Discover UPC, and the idea is that you can you can get access to not only the physical resources and the electronic resources we have at UPC in our collections, and you can use them, but also all the scientific output that has been published, or the academic works that have been done since now at UPC. We publish all this content in the repository, the institutional repository. The name is UPC Commons, but you can also retrieve the information of the institutional repository through Discovery. That's why we put this name. A very important thing is that if you use, when you search, if you collections, articles, journals, databases, whatever, if you start your search in Discovery, there's no need, but for all other cases, if you are at Google, also in Google Scholar, and so on, when you will need to get to the full text of an article, for example, at some point you will have to use the EBIB button. The EBIB button is a button that you have to install in your sidebar, and it recognizes you as a UPC user, so you can get to the content of the article, the full text, because the UPC, the library, has paid for it to the publisher. So if you don't install this button and you don't use it, maybe you will be able only to read the abstract, but not the content of the article, because you will not be allowed to do it. So this is a very important tip. You can also install the EBIB button in your mobile device, not only in your laptop. Following with Discovery, another important thing is that the catalog doesn't offer only the resources we have at UPC, but if there is an article that is not in our collection, but it's in the Catalan universities and or even at international scope, you can ask for this article from the discovery, and you will get for free at your email account in 48 hours. This is a free service, so we think that from the UPC libraries you can find whatever you want if it's in open access, in restricted access, so whatever. If you use the discovery and also this interlibrary loan international, you can get for free whatever you need for your doctoral thesis. So finding documents, it's easier than ever. As I have mentioned, UPC Commons is the institutional repository, and once you have defended your thesis, you will be very happy to find your thesis in full text published in the institutional repository of UPC. Another important tip is that we have library guides for any subject which is, for example, the 5 areas of subject areas that doctoral studies have here at UPC. There is a library guide which selects all the important resources, databases, journals, preprints, whatever, regarding this subject area. So you can search, there is a subject area for civil engineering, architecture, so on, but also for other specific topics like artificial intelligence, fake news, some libraries for reference managers, and so on. Another important thing here at university is that we know that everyone nowadays is using artificial intelligence. So from the library, we highly recommend you that you the same as the Committee on Publication Ethics recommends when an author publishes an article, is that you have to declare the use of artificial intelligence. So you need to declare the tool, the purpose of the use of the artificial intelligence, and so on. So it's important nowadays to declare the use of AI in academic publishing, and we really encourage you to do it. Finally, also regarding publishing, things regarding publishing, it's very important here at UPC that you use when you will sign your articles, that I'm sure you will have to do during your doctoral venture, you will have to sign or to identify that you belong to Universitat Politècnica de Catalunya, and it's highly recommended and mandatory to use the good name of the official name of the university, which is in Catalan, and you can see it here at the top of the slide. Also, we recommend you to have an ORCID, which is a researcher identifier. It's just a number. Each researcher has his ORCID, and it really recognizes you when there are, for example, two authors who has the same, very similar name. It's a very good thing to have your own ORCID. Because the publishers and everyone who has to deal with the information of publishing can recognize one author from another. Finally, when you will have to publish your articles, it's important that you know that UPC has a lot of transformative agreements, and this means that apart from subscribing resources, journals by the main publishing house like Wiley, Elsevier, Springer, and so on, you can also use an APC which will allow you to publish your article in open access. This is very important also because it will give a very high visibility of your article in internet. This is one service that we offer at UBC libraries, and also we really help you to do the data management plan, as you have been told before. You can use the template for PhD students that we have that we present you in Bibliotecnica in our website, and which is linked to the research plan, as it has been mentioned. But also you can attend a training course on data management plan that the library offers, and also you can address to the library or send a message, and we will help you in doing this part of your research plan. Finally, there are some, we organize different training courses, like how to make a data management plan, how to, the scientific publishing, how to prepare your manuscript, when you will have the manuscript already prepared, but different tips and recommendations about the manuscript, and also we offer a training course in open science. Finally, I would also like to explain that the library also organizes what we call research cafes. This is like we focus in a topic. For example, next Friday we are going to focus in data security, and there are 4 or 5 people who are doing research in this topic. It can be a teacher, but also someone like you, a doctoral student, that explain their research. And the idea of this research cafe is to put in contact, to socialize research in focuses in one specific topic. So I really invite you to attend, if you are free, the next research cafe, which will be in data security, and it will be presentially here in Campus North. You can enroll using this QR. Finally, and just to finish, you will receive the library newsletter every month with information that you can use and can be helpful for you. And also, you have to know that the library review the bibliographic references that you add in your DAT, in order that it will be corrected and use it for different purposes to show what you have produced. And finally, also from the library, when you will finish your thesis, we will publish your thesis at the institutional repository. You can follow us by Blue Sky, and also you can have any questions. You can use this email account, and remember that we are here for just to help you during all your academic doctoral adventure. Very good luck, and see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rubira. Before moving into the next talk, I would like to ask you to raise your hands, because you are receiving a lot of information, but I think that maybe some of you already used some of these things. So how many of you have already installed and used the button eBib to retrieve scientific literature? Good. Many, many, many of you. And how many of you have been in contact with the International Relations Office when you were preparing your documents to come to UPC? Raise your hand. Wow. Yeah, quite a good number. We had a nice offer from UPC Arts for theater, socialization. How many? I saw some of you taking pictures. How many of you are already following UPC Arts on Instagram? Not that many. Well, the rest you can follow them, so you get advertisements on what they are doing. Okay, thank you. So now we will move on. We just have a couple more presentations. The first one will be given by Ms. Silva from the Innovation Service at UPC. So welcome very much.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a really nice welcome ceremony, and I'm really glad for you to be knowing all the services that the UPC has for you when you're staying in the college. I'm going to start, and I will talk to you about the innovation area. We're gonna call it that way. The department, it's called Servei de Gestió a la Innovación, which means Innovation Services Support. We have mainly two areas on this department. We have, in the first place, entrepreneurship. In the second place we have transfer knowledge and creation of spin-offs, right? So this is the whole team that you will be talking to if you want to use our services. And we are down the innovation unit. You'll see that we have four main lines in the general area, but we are on these two. On the first hand, we have valorization, and the second hand, we have entrepreneurship. And what we do? What we do is to put in value all the knowledge that it's made here inside of the UPC. So, for instance, if you have an idea of a startup, of a product that you might want to become it into a company, we support that. Also, if during your stay in the university, you might put into value the knowledge that you have been having in all the stay, we can also support you to the creation, for instance, of a spin-off, or to protect all this information, this creation, these investigations through licenses and all this. We have two main types, we kind of saying, of talent. In the first hand, we have the part of the Emprende UPC, which takes into the charge of the main ideas, kind of a startup that comes because you find a need, you find a problem that you might want to be solved through an entrepreneurship project, so we support that in different ways. We offer services, also activities and resources for the development of these ideas. It will be, and it can be, wherever idea that you want to become true. What we aim and what we want you and invite you is to try it, at least once in a life, try to be an entrepreneur, so you will have all the skills that we would like to have the professionals in our work. In the other hand, we have the valorization team that mainly makes a strategy of protection, valorization, and licensing, all right, of spin-offs. I will show you the difference between a spin-off and a startup. And in the end, you will see that we have several programs depending on the idea that you have or where that idea is coming from. We have been an university recognized by the Programa Innova back in 25 years ago, and we have the first spin-offs here at the university. You might know Fractus, as was the first spin-off here at the UPC. It's the nicest story, because this, I don't know if you have been noticed, of course, that your cell phones doesn't have any longer this antenna that used to become of the cell phone. And the Fractus team was the ones that have created that technology that we all have, you all have in your phones. That's a really nice story that I will encourage you to find it on Google, because it was the process behind how we have to protect the knowledge and the technology. Take into account that every investigation that it's coming from the UPC belongs to the university. So you have to take into account what you were going to do with that knowledge, all right? This is by law, so this is one of the first things that we want to remind you, and how that property works. You can find also in the webpage, RDI webpage, where you can find and submit new inventions in order to protect them, or to see what you want to do in terms of putting to value all those investigations. In terms of resources, in this part of valorization, we have this course that it's from the EPO, the European Patent Office, and it's an online course that it's really good because it gives you the basis on how you can put into value all your investigations. Now the call is closed, but in the spring we will have another call, and it's going to be more or less open in February. So if you want to have more info or to enroll, you can write us, and we give you the subscription. It's for free. It's 74 hours, and it's completely online, and it doesn't have a schedule. You will do it on your own pace. Now, what's the difference between a startup and a spin-off? And a startup, it comes basic in a tech solution that it's coming from what you want to resolve, what you want to do in terms of entrepreneurship. Here, the university has not shares, has anything. Why? Because this knowledge, it's yours, all right? So you came to us and we help you to become that idea reality. And in the other hand, what we have is the spin-offs, which is a startup based on technology that it's transferred from UPC investigations. So we have these two types. As I told you, in the spin-off, the UPC, if the technology was investigated here in the UPC, it belongs to the university. And kind of, this is the terms of talent that we have in the UPC. We have the investigators, the students, and we have external agents. These external agents is the way that we do, or how we can put you out into the world and connect you with the rest of the network that we have in Catalonia, in Barcelona, in Spain, if it's the case, in order for you to go and take those ideas bigger and robust and be on the world. What we offer in the part of entrepreneurship, it's a flexible program. What you will be assigned a technician that will give you support. This means that this technician will be with you, giving you mentorship, connecting you with the people that you might know, connecting you with the mentors that you will need, trying to find, for instance, programs where you can take some money for your entrepreneurship or to get to know your idea. For instance, last year, we have this program that we have in yearly basis, and it's called Industrial Tech. What we do in this program is to teach all the technologies that you will need in terms of 3D printing, scan 3D, artificial intelligence, and all that, and also the part of business. Last year was this project that it's called Haptica, that it became from a final degree course. And he made a bracelet that he used to make it in the school, in the Besos. And what he does is to retrieve the touch to the people that has, I don't know how to say it in English, prostheses. So through vibrations, what he does is to retrieve all these, if he wants to take a glass to not break it, and all that was developed on this program, Industrial Tech. It was an acceleration program. The idea became from a course, but we helped him to develop this idea. Nowadays, he's trying to raise money, he found a team, he went to there 4 years from now, he went to several fairs and several awards. Actually, last week he won a Santander Spain award, and he won also the Dyson Spain Awards a few weeks ago. So that's what we do. We make that companion for you to grow. And also an important thing that we do in entrepreneurship is to force you to create a prototype. This is one of our main goals. Why? Because you need to validate any idea. And I told you this today because I think it will work for life, and it's first, test it, try it, validate your idea and iterate and again and redesign and redo it and investigate every time. So that's the way that we work. We work also with the ideas in every phase, from the ideation until the establishment. We will support you in every path of the way of your entrepreneurship. Even though if we say, hey, take a look, change the idea, or pivot. This is an example of the programs that we have. We have programs for different phases of entrepreneurship. If you have a base idea, if you have an idea that it's becoming from an investigation, if you have an idea and you want just to test how it works and how to find a business model, we offer all kinds of programs. Yeah. These are the biggest ones. This is the Industrial Tech that I told you. It's for 4 months. Actually, we are almost at the end of this year's program, and it's a really interesting program because of the connection that we have with the ecosystem. We give mentorship, also we connect you with anyone that you need to be mentor you in terms of, I don't know, business, marketing, propiedad intelectual, anything that you need, legal too. We have co-working spaces. We have one here in Campus North. We have one in Campus El Besos, that is the one that I work on. And we also, I forgot this, and we also have economic helps yearly, depending on if you have an idea or you have established a company, we give you this money support. You have to apply, you have to pass country evaluation every time, etc. But we also give that type of support. And this is not even 5% of the pool that mentors that we have. We have, in the first time, as I told you before, experts in every topic that you need. And we have, on the other hand, mentors that are people that have been common entrepreneurs in the past, or maybe they have their company and they want to give something to the ones that are leading that path. So we also connect you with that. We work also with the ESAVIC, the incubadora of la ESA, la Agencia Española Espacial. We also work with that. And this is the kind of the whole network that we work to. So we only not connect you with the internal networks, which could be Charfa or Chartec. We also connect you with the environment, which means Barcelona Activa, maybe Norsken if it's the case, different ayuntamientos, etc. This is part of the ecosystems. We yearly participate on the 4 years from now, having a stand. We have approximately, like 20 projects yearly showing up here on the 4 years from now. We also participate on the Deep Tech Node that this happened last week. Also, we made a combo, everyone joins, fill the form, and we select and we try to help and to encourage the people to use this platform. So anything you need, you can write us an email, and happy to be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ximena. I know that all of you have a researcher inside, but I am sure that many of you have an entrepreneur in you. So this information might get useful at some point of your thesis. Okay, and now we are moving on to the last presentation of this block. So let me welcome on stage your peer, the representative of the UPC Doctoral Council, David Rovira. Welcome on stage.
This one? Okay. Well, good morning. So thanks all for coming. It's very nice to see very PhD students here. It's nice. With the council, we wanted to participate in this session because it's the best option to get in touch with all of you. So my name is David Rovira. I'm also a PhD student in the UPC, mostly in Campus North, but I'm not a first year. I'm second-ish PhD student because time passed very fast in the PhD. But today I'm here mainly as a representation of the PhD of the Doctoral Council, because maybe you don't know, but there is a broad here in the UPC that represents all the PhD students in front of the university, in front of the institution. So our task as a representative is to act as a link or a catalyzer of any concern, any suggestion, any idea that you may have to improve the daily life of your PhD in front of the university councils. We have a seat in the University Council, but also in many of the UPC communities regarding different topics, security, quality, recruitment assessment. So any idea that you may have, any concern or critique about the UPC, you can transfer to us in order to discuss it in the different organisms of the university. So to put an example, my idea of last week was we wanted to clean in our lab because we work in a chemical lab, so we have lab coats that get dirty, and we wanted to clean our lab coats, but we couldn't find a central service, like a service of laundry in the UPC. So we had to ask and pay ourselves the laundry service in the residence of the Bezos residence. So our idea is to to write a proposal and ask to the council to discuss if we can have a budget or a service in the UPC, a centralized service, to clean all the lab coats or the chemical waste that we can have in our daily life. This is some example, but you can have many other examples about bureaucracy, about the UPC campus facilities. So you can address these ideas to your representative in the UPC program, doctoral program. So you already are registered in one doctoral program. There are 46, and each doctoral program has one representative. However, there are several of them that has no representative because there are vacancies. So next year, in the first term of the 2026, I think we will organize new elections to try to fill most of these vacancies. So if you want to have a more active role in the university and to see how all this works, please join and try to run for election. I know that doing the PhD you have free time, but I think it's also nice to encourage the PhD students and try to improve their daily life. So you will receive some email from the doctoral school with this information. I always suggest you to read it. It's not a spam, so do not trash to the recycle bin. Read it because there are this information about the election, but also for many activities, many training sessions that it's sometimes mandatory. Apart from that, myself and the new secretary, the Gladys Alfonsina, that we have recently been elected as representatives of president and secretary, we want to push more the social and the community part of the council, because we know that there are not only for foreigners, but there are some research groups that are small or that you may work alone in the lab or maybe in the computer, so you want to socialize more. And we would like to have a higher community, a higher interactive community of the PhD students. So that's why we want to push forward again with to reinstall the WhatsApp group. And also we are working in install a website for the council to post any activity or any event that we can have. For example, in our group, because I'm lucky and our group is quite big and we have very good relationship, and we may organize some football teams to play with other research groups, because I think it's very funny, and we all have a competitive child inside, so it's good to have these kind of activities. So any idea or any activity that you want to impose, just join the WhatsApp group. And you also can address to the doctoral council or to myself. So
thank you very much. Thank you very much, David. And now we are moving on to the last presentation of this section, and then we will have a break. This presentation will be given by the Deputy Director of the Doctoral School, Luis Jofre Cruañas, who will show you a bit what you can expect in the next years and what is PhD.
Well, thank you, Cristina, for the nice introduction. First of all, thanks all of you for coming today to the PhD or to the welcome ceremony of the PhD school. I'll try to make it nice and short, I promise, and a little bit more relaxed, okay? You guys have received a lot of information over the last hour, so the main idea of this presentation is just to provide a little bit of inspiration of what a PhD is and maybe some small details. So let's start. Okay, so the first question to answer is what's a PhD, right? I mean, most likely all of you started your academic career, let's call it this way, 15, 20 years ago, right? Starting in the elementary school, then you guys went to high school. There was not much decision to make. It was basically what your parents told you to do. And then at some point, you guys decided to do a bachelor on a specific topic, right? Maybe most of you connected to engineering or architecture. And then at some point, you said, well, maybe a bachelor is not enough. Let me do a master's degree. And that's what you guys did maybe over the last 2, 3, 4 years, right? And after that, that's really when you have to make a decision, right? Do I go directly work in a company, or I try to develop my own idea and create a company, or I'm still hungry of learning and I go and I try to pursue a PhD? Well, so the PhD, if we can define it in some way, is the last kind of a step of this stair, right? Starting from the very elementary school to the very last step of an academic education. So let's try to schematically illustrate what a PhD is and what it really means. Okay, imagine that this is granted from Christina. I'm gonna borrow it from her. So imagine that this is the frontier of knowledge, right? This is ChatGPT. Okay? Everything is inside this circle. Everything we know is inside this circle, right? So what's a PhD, or what's the objective of a PhD? The objective of a PhD, well, you went through primary school, high school, degree, bachelor, master, and then you said, okay, let me try to obtain a PhD. So what really means a PhD is that you get closer and closer and closer to the edge of knowledge, and at some point, when you start and go through the PhD process, the main idea or the objective is that by the end of this 3-4 year process, you end up somehow breaking this frontier and coming up with some sort of a new idea. That requires a lot of reading, a lot of work, thinking, and at some point, boom, you are able to somehow expand the frontier of knowledge, and that means that, for example, you become a PhD, but most importantly, from a societal point of view, is that you come up with new ideas. These ideas can be connected to new energy sources for those of you working in mechanical engineering, for example, or maybe new materials, or new therapies, or biomedical applications, or a theorem to be demonstrated if you work in applied math or physics. So that's kind of the main idea of a PhD. The main idea of a PhD is to expand the current knowledge. That is very exciting, but at the same time means that it's not easy. It's not easy. It's a long process. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and that's part of the process. But what I try to communicate in these talks is that don't get down when things get difficult. I promise you, things are going to get difficult at some point. But at the same time, I promise you that you are going to be able to solve these problems together with your advisor and with your colleagues. So in those moments in which you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, don't stop. Keep working, and I promise you that you will be able to break the frontier, and that results in a publication or in the community getting aware of your work. Okay? Oops, sorry. Vale. Okay, well, for example, if we think of Albert Einstein, right? So one of the quotes that he used to say is that I have no special talent, right? I'm just only passionate and curious. At the end of the day, a PhD, what it means is that you work really hard for 3-4 years, and when you start, you may think that the amount of knowledge that you have to acquire is impossible, but trust me, after a month, 2, 3, after a year, after 6 months, you will recognize yourself that you are becoming part of that knowledge, and at some point, you are going to be able to expand it up to some point, right? Or for example, he said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them, right? So part of the PhD is to be very creative and to think a lot, try a lot, discover what things work and what things doesn't work, and that's part of the process, okay? So what's the PhD path? I'm going to classify it in two categories, right? You can follow what we call a full-time PhD. Most likely, most of you are going to go through a full-time PhD. That means that you dedicate your entire day, let's call it your entire day. You also have to eat and sleep, but let's say that you dedicate 6, 7, 8, my students 10 hours per day, okay? And after 4 years, after 4 years, most likely you are going to be in a situation that you can defend your thesis. So legally, you have 4 years. You may have an extra 5th year in case you had some problems in terms of medical issues or pregnancy or things like that. But most likely, you are supposed to finish your PhD in 4 years, and you may get 1 additional year in case that is justifiable. That's the full-time PhD, and then there is a second option. Sorry, I keep pressing the wrong button. And there is the second option, which is what we call part-time PhD. For those of you that are already working outside academia, in a company and something like that, and you're interested in pursuing a PhD, you can follow what we call the part-time PhD. And in that case, since you don't dedicate your entire day to the PhD work, then you are supposed or you are allowed to finish your PhD in 7 years, plus an extra year in case that there were some medical issues or stuff like that. Okay, so full-time PhD, 4+1, the recommendation is 4 years. Part-time PhD, 7 years plus 1 in case it's justifiable. Okay, so by the first year, depending on when you started, but more or less within the first year of your PhD, you will have to develop and defend your research plan. That entails organizing the type of work that you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and a little bit of time planning. But at the same time now, UPC requires to put together a data management plan and a training plan, okay? Remember, most of you, depending on the program that you are involved, there's going to be periods during the year and you will be requested to present and defend the research plan. Why is that important? Well, because the research plan at the end of the day is the wish list that you prepare at the beginning of your PhD that allows you to somehow organize the next 2, 3, 4 years in order to be productive and successful. Does that mean that whatever you propose the first year, that's what you're going to do at the end of 3, 4 years? No, most likely it's going to evolve at the same pace that you become more and more knowledgeable about the problem that you are working with. But at least it helps you at the beginning of your PhD to organize your ideas and to set up a plan to move forward in a good pace. And then by year 4, the idea is that you have to prepare your thesis, you have to present it, deposit it, and at some point you will have to defend it. Okay? Now this is far away from you guys, but remember that at some point the plan is to finish and to defend the thesis. There's no point in doing the PhD forever. Okay? All this information, I will not go in detail through it because it's available on the website of the UPC Doctoral School, and most likely as you get to the timing all of these things, I'm sure that you will check the website and you will get information on how to do it. What else? The research plan. Okay, so what's the main idea of the research plan? Remember, it's both in terms of research, what you're going to do, but now we also require to prepare the data management plan. Here you have a web link with all the information and a training plan. Okay, plan of courses, workshops, and conferences that you may attend during the next 3, 4 years in terms of if you're doing a full-time PhD. Okay? What else? The thesis, deposit, and defense. It's far away right now, but remember that it's not straightforward. It takes 2, 3 months to finish. So most likely, especially for those of you that are here under a visa, please be careful, because most of you think that you will finish writing your thesis and the next week you will defend it. No, it will calculate 2, 3 months to go through a process that is mandatory in Spain and Europe, and it requires several steps, which is quality guarantee, deposit, and defense. And here there are some numbers, but put like 3, 4 months to finish the entire process of finishing and defending the thesis. Very important for those of you under a visa. Okay? All the information is available on the doctoral website. What else? Qualities for research. So, and this is very important because pursuing a PhD, in addition to try to publish papers and go to conferences and meet people, I think that a very important asset or skill that you will have to develop is the ability to face complex problems. For me, that's the most important part of going through a PhD process. Being able to decompose a very complex problem into small pieces and then being able to somehow solve each of these pieces in a way that you end up solving a big problem. Why am I saying that? Because through your bachelor's and master's degrees, you solved exercises and problems, but those exercises were a little bit artificial, right? There was a recipe that most likely you had to follow, and if you were more or less smart about it, you would be able to solve it. Right now, as a PhD student, you are going to face problems that nobody knows the solution. That means that you are going to be the one exploring terra incognita, and that requires a lot of consistency and requires a lot of passion and not giving up. Okay, for me that's the most important part, aside from interacting with the supervisors, that sometimes is also as difficult as solving the big problem. Okay, but trust me, from our side, sometimes you guys are always a little bit complicated, but try to have a nice interaction with the supervisors because they will help you a lot in terms of achieving the goals. Okay, and as I said, 90% of perseverance, patience, endurance, and effort. The other 10% is the ability to come up with good ideas, inspiration and creativity. Okay, what else? And also, enjoy the process, okay? Even if you go as a Formula 1 car, it will take 3-4 years to finish this process. So take it as a marathon, don't take it as a sprint, because if you take it as a sprint, after a year you're going to be exhausted, unmotivated, and with no good perspective. So take it as a, let's say, as a half marathon if you want, but it's going to take time. Okay, so as you know, when you do a half marathon, you don't start very fast at the beginning. You take a good pace, and then you try to keep that pace through the entire marathon. Okay, so enjoy the job and interact with your colleagues. What else? Very important, interaction with your supervisor. Each supervisor is different, but try to come up with a plan of meetings. Say, okay, we are going to meet once a week or every 2 weeks. Or no, I want to be able to interact with you more in a more continuous form. Okay, try to, instead of being shy and not asking the supervisor how to do it, be proactive about it, especially at the beginning, and try to come up with a plan. Say, okay, let's try to meet once a week. Okay, and that will also help you organize your work and being able to somehow move forward in a good pace. Okay, remember, weekends, no meetings. Weekends are for relax and to enjoy Barcelona or whatever, okay? What else? The big elephant in the room, okay? Artificial intelligence. Are we against or in favor? No comments. What we just want to transmit is the idea that this is not a mature area. Actually, ChatGPT is what, 3 years old, 3.5 years old. So we are not, as society, we don't know exactly how to interact with these tools. Does that mean that we don't have to use them? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you use them with care, and especially talk with your supervisor and decide how you are going to use them. That's very important. Talk to your supervisor and decide how you are going to use these tools. Okay? And especially, don't rely entirely on them. They are not smarter than you. They are able to produce more text than you, but they are not smarter than you. Okay, so use them with care and talk a lot with your supervisor. I guess that if we ask this question in 10, 20 years, maybe we'll have an answer. But right now, as society, we don't really know what will happen with them, okay? So caution with this type of tools. What else? So what's important about a PhD? As I said before, one of the most important things about going through a PhD is not the, let's say, the specific topic that you are going to work in particular, but the transversal skills that you will gain. This idea that you are going to be able to solve really complex problems, to me, is the most important part of your PhD. Being able to confront challenging problems and decomposing them, that's a skill that is going to pay off in the coming years, okay? So the idea is this, you are going to get a lot of transferable skills, for example, independent thinking, time management. For example, with some of my students, one of the things that I noticed that they struggle the most with is time management. Everything takes a month, everything takes 2 months. No, you have to come up with ways to organize your work such that you can work in parallel and you can achieve your goals, cutting a little bit of time, okay? Because 3-4 years seems a lot of time, but it's not, okay? 3-4 years will pass by, they will fly by, and you will not notice it, and you are going to be in a situation that you have to start finishing your PhD. So my advice is from day one, from week one, try to be efficient and try to organize your time. That's very critical. And also networking, okay? Meeting a lot of people that you never know what these new people, what doors they will open in the future, okay? What else? The typical path. Okay, what's after a PhD? Okay, I'll try to rush a little bit. What's a PhD? Well, typically after a PhD, you can go through postdocs and positions like that, and maybe at some point you get a stable position in academia, or maybe not. That's not the unique path. Okay, right now a PhD is not just to become a professor in university. Right now a PhD is let's say the highest degree that you can get from a university that prepares you to go work for high-tech companies, for example, or for research institutes. Okay, so forget the idea of PhD, I'm going to become a professor. No, some of you will, if you want to, but some of you will go work with high-tech companies or research institutes. Okay, and then funding opportunities. That's very important. Maybe some of you have all this sorted out already, but maybe some of you are still in the process of how do I pay for my PhD, right? So there are different options. The easiest one is that if your supervisor has a big project, most likely he's going to have funding to support your studies. But let's say from a regional and national and European point of view, there are open calls for competitive fellowships. All of these calls are listed in the doctoral school website, so please check them. And there are also non-competitive fellowships connected to projects, as I said before. What else? Well, all of you know already about this app. This is the UPC app. Please, those of you that don't have it installed, now is the moment. So go to Apple Store or Google Play, download it for free, and it's going to be very useful. And why it's going to be very useful? Because, for example, from the doctoral school point of view, we will communicate to you if there are funding opportunities for mobility. Okay, so this is not just an app. This is a very good option to get knowledge about funding opportunities. So please, those of you that don't already have this app, download it and use it as much as possible, okay? Apple Store or Google Play. And that's it, okay? Let me just finish with a very inspiring quote from Nelson Mandela saying that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And that's really true, okay? So thanks for coming and enjoy the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Luis. No, m'han tret la presentació. Sisplau, poseu la presentació un altre cop. Okay, sorry. Okay, so just before finishing, we all need a pause, you need to move, I know. To get your certificate of attendance, please. So now, all phones up. Now you are entitled to use the phone. Yeah, scan this and fill this in with your data so we can send you the certificate of attendance for today. Good. I will allow you for a few more moments. Okay. If anyone has issues with filling it in online, we have a few on paper, just in case, so you can contact our team when coming up. Okay, everyone has the QR code, right? So while you fill it in, I will just start explaining the networking activity. We have 15 minutes. of break now. So take the opportunity to find 4 of your peers, introduce yourselves. And when you leave the door, you can collect the form just to answer a couple of questions. And then if you handle it completed, well, we put here 11:50. Well, once you fill it in, put it there, and we will, all the teams that deliver this completed form will participate in a raffle to win a T-shirt for each member. So you can do this during the break, right? You are looking at me, you were writing, so you didn't maybe hear me. So now during the break, you can find 4 colleagues, so make a group of 4, and then fill in the sheet that you will be given with a couple of questions to participate in the raffle and win a T-shirt, right? So you can introduce to each other. And thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Thank you for coming. And we can now take a break and reconvene at 12 for the second part of the session.